Hi and welcome back to Darvanalee Designs Studio. For those that don't know, my name's Nicole Reed and today we're going to do, for Crafting with DDs, we're going to do some quilt prep for a quilt that I'm making in December. So let's get started. Good morning or good evening everybody and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for taking some time out of your day and spending it with me while we do a little bit of quilt prep. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it, and then that way you're not going to miss out on any future crafty uploads, and we do a myriad of things here on this channel. While you're there, also give this video a like, and if you like what you see, please let me know down in the comments, or if there's anything else that you would like to see me do, please let me know in the comments. All right, so it is Crafting with DDs. For those that are new here, this is a pretty relaxed and laid back video. We just basically hang out with me while I am quilting or stitching or doing all the things. I've got many projects on the go. This is a project that I've been wanting to do for a little while, and it is a quilt that we're going to be prepping today. So I'm going to spend some time with you and just show you, basically bring you along for the journey, play a little bit of music, do a little bit of chit chat and see how we end up. All right, so the quilt that I'm talking about is, and I'm just looking for the picture of it, so I do apologise for any rustling. It's called Among the Stars Again, and I got this as a block of the month. So that's what it looks like. Okay, and I'll put a picture up so you can see it a bit clearer, because that picture's not very clear. Now, I have been onto the Fat Quarter Shop this morning and just had a look and see if I could find any of the kits, because I got this as a block of the month, so it came with all the fabrics and whatnot. So there isn't any kits that I could find, but I did find the pattern book. And so I will link that up down below for you. And if you want to join me in December, because I'm going to be doing this in December. So I'm just prepping now, getting ahead of the game so I don't run behind. And if you want to join in the fun and do it with me, you can get the pattern book from the Fat Quarter Shop, and that will have all the requirements and everything that you need. So I can tell you now that you're going to need 3.5 yards of your background fabric. So they're using a white with a small dot on it, so a tone on tone. Your border fabric, which is red, as you can see there in the picture, you need 1 1/3 yards, and then the binding you need 7/8 of a yard. Okay, I'm not even going to attempt to work that out into meterage. Just Google it. Okay, it's the easiest way to go. And I also got the backing, and the backing is, I cannot remember who the fabric designer was for this. But as we go, I will obviously work that out. There's some beautiful fabrics in it, but this is my backing fabric, and I'm going to keep it in the cover because I don't need it yet. It's beautiful, and it's not super Christmassy, so that's why I gravitated towards it, because as you know, I'm here in Australia and it's stinking hot at Christmas time most years. This year's been quite mild so far. We've got a very hectic rainy season at the moment, and a lot of places have been flooding and whatnot, and it's been super cold for this time of year. We've had snow, I think, last week in the southern states, which is so rare. I can't even remember the last time. It was many decades ago. But yeah, so I like this because it wasn't super Christmassy. It's Christmassy, but without being, you know, I could get away with using this throughout the year. I wouldn't have to just bring it out at Christmas time. So I'm not going to play around with this today, so I'll put that away for now. Just pop it in my drawer down here. Then it's out of the way. And the other thing that they've sent is the background fabric, and that's what the red fabric looks like. That's a bit of a closer look. And again, I'm just going to leave that for now in there. But let's have a look at each of these packs. All right, so, okay, before we do that, the plan is that I'm going to prep all of my blocks. I've got a, I was watching a video the other day, I can't remember, and then I was talking to my friend Michelle, which is Shell_Trails on Instagram, and she uses like the scrapbooking boxes, and she gets them from Kmart apparently. So basically I have one here that I have scrapbooking stuff in. I've got another container for that. I'm going to endeavour to iron all my fabrics today, maybe do some cutting today, but I'm going to be spending some time in prepping this, and I thought I'd just bring you along for the journey. Sorry, I just heard a noise and seen if a car was pulling up. I've got my mic on, so we shouldn't get too much background noise today. So so that's basically what the plan is that I'm going to do. And yes, I do know that I've got a lot of projects on the go, but I think I have the attention span of a gnat for my projects, and I need to have a lot going because it just gives me that variety, because a lot of my job is very repetitive. So like at the quilting machine, sometimes I can do the same pattern because the customers choose it, and basically I'll be just looking at the same pattern. And then, you know, with editing, yes, I'm looking at different footage and all the rest of it, but it's very repetitive. It's the same thing. So I like to have a variety of projects on the go. So at the moment for Crafting with DDs, we have what's it called? It's by the Soulicious Baker. It's the EPP one that I'm doing, English paper piecing, for those that don't know what EPP is. And it's all the stars, and then you put them into a hexagon and you sew them all together. I'm still slowly doing that, extremely slowly. And so I've got that project, and I think that's the only thing that I've got for Crafting with DDs, because this is a relatively new series, and so we've just come off the back of our Halloween mini Quilt-a-long that I had. So that was 4 blocks that we did. We turned it into a wall hanging, and you can see all that. I'll card that up the top for you. You can go and have a look at that. There's 4 there, and that's all free for you. All the blocks are there, and you've got the video instructions to go with it. So I thought, you know, I need to do some prepping, and I thought, this is what I'm going to do. It's adding some more variety in. It's a quilt that's been sitting on my bookshelf for so long. It just so needs to get done. And I thought, what a perfect way than to prep it with you guys on Crafting with DDs, and then take it into December and hopefully get it finished by the time Christmas rolls around. So I'm not 100% sure how many blocks there are, so we're just going to go through each of the blocks, and I'll get them in order. And I do know that and I haven't opened any of these, so I don't know if there's a booklet. I don't know if there's templates or anything like that. So I am going to switch the camera around, and then that way we can have a look at these a little bit better, have a look at the fabric and pull them out. So if you do not like rustling, turn your volume down, because there is going to be a bit of rustling with this one, because they're all in their plastic bags, and I'm just going to pull them out. We'll start with block month 1, and we'll work through from there. So for the next couple of weeks, this is what we're going to be doing. All right, so let me switch the camera around and let's have a look at these gorgeous fabrics and what I'm going to be doing. All right, so I am, as I said, we're going to have a look at each one of them, and I do apologise for the rustling that is happening. The reason I get these block of the months is because I just love them, and they come with extra fabric and all that sort of stuff. So it's really, I just love it. I love the fact that I get leftover fabric, because then even if I don't want to do more quilt blocks or anything as that came with the pattern, I can actually incorporate them in other things. So I turn my scraps into something else. All right, so let's see what we've got. So this was month 1, and this is now, originally, I think the Fat Quarter shop had, I think it was called, just bear with me for a sec, I'll just check what it is, but I'm pretty sure it was called Wish Among the Stars. So that was the original pattern that they've got. When I done the search on their thing, it came up. And this one is Among the Stars again. So again, it's just working with stars, as it says. But it comes with this book, and this was the book that I was telling you about. I didn't think that I wasn't sure if I had it, because they came in the mail, I take them out of the package, and I set them on the shelf for a rainy day. Well, the rainy day has arrived. So that is the book, and you can see that it's spiral bound, and there's a different version of it, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but that's the quilt that we're going for. And yeah, so it's got all the bits and pieces that I need for each block, so what my cutting things are. Now, I'm not going to show this on camera. I have a link down below where you can get this book. As I said, the fabrics, I cannot find the fabrics on there, but I did find the book. The link is down below. It is an affiliate link, so all that means is that excuse me, you don't pay anymore. I just get a small commission from that. So if you do buy it, that will help support the channel as well. All right, so we got that. And then basically each month will come with some fabric for each block. So you can see there, and I'm just looking, so we'll be making these 2 stars, and this is all the fabric that I've got in here. So we've got enough for our centers, which is more than enough. Okay, so you can see there, I'm going to end up with some left over. And basically what I try to do is I try to cut them very economically, and that way I get like decent sized stuff out of it. This is cute. How cute is that? I love it. And then we've got our background fabric. Okay, so that's that one. So that's block 1, and I'm just going to pop them back in. It's got month 1 on it, so I don't necessarily have to wrestle that much with all the rest of it. So that is number 1. And then number 2, again, they're all coming with their background fabric for each block, so I don't need to cut into that other fabric that I got. That is the finishing pack that you get from them. And so we're making those ones. And again, like there are some Christmassy fabrics in them, but for the most part, they're quite neutral. So I believe that I'm going to be able to use this each month. All right, so that's that one. And then we've got number 3, not in any particular order here. That's why I'm rummaging. So these ones are, oh, excuse me. That was a big bang. So that's the block we're making. It's absolutely gorgeous. And these are the fabrics we've got in here. So this way you'll get to see the backing fabric. So that is the backing fabric that we're going to be using. That is in the center of this block. And it's just, see what I mean? Like it's Christmassy without being overly Christmassy. So it'll suit, you know, it looks for quite cooling, and it's quite a nice range of fabrics. And I'll have to check who is the designer of this fabric, because it's not written on any of these. All right, so let's pop that one over there. And then month 4, so this is the block that we'll be making, and the fabric that we'll be using. So we've got, this almost looks like cross stitch fabric. Almost looks like a cross stitch. So, which is not surprising because the Fat Quarter Shop has quite an extensive range of cross stitch stuff. So yeah, so that's that one. Slide that back in. Very nice. Very happy with that. When I seen this, and I was shopping with Shal one night, pretty late when I got this. So yeah, we were just like, yeah, we enable each other. Well, she enables me a bit more. Love you, Shell. So yeah, so that's block 6. I missed block 5, did I? Yep. It's probably down the bottom. And again, it's got some text in it this time. I love using these for hexagons, a little bit of Christmassy, and that. Oh, that's a different colorway of the backing. I really like that. That is so pretty. Love it. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. All right, next one is block 5. And so they're all just stars. And then block 7, oh, so this is block 5. And then we've got, oh, there's another colorway. Oh, I like that. I would have liked that as the back, but the white's nice too, because my rooms, I always use white in summer in my room. So that's why I'm thinking this is going to be a really nice quilt to use. All right. Okay, let me just get those back in. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 1 month at a time. I'm going to cut it up, then I'm going to put it back into its bag, and then I'm going to put it into the scrapbooking container, and then I'm just going to set it aside, and then during the month of December we'll stitch it together. So this block 7, we actually have to make one each of these blocks, okay? And so the fabric in here is a selection of everything that we've had. So I'll just pull that out a bit. So you can see we've got the dots, we've got in the grey and the red, and then we've got the red, the grey and the green in the what I think looks like cross stitch. I really like this fabric. This is pretty. And we've got some holly in 2 different colorways, and we've got the dove in 2 colorways. And so it's incorporating everything that we've used in the previous blocks into this one. So that is very pretty indeed. It's going to be an absolute stunner of a quilt once it's done. And I'm just going to take my time. I'm not going to overly rush it. Now, there was 8 months to this, and so number 8 is actually the quilt top finishing. So that's what the backing and the red fabric is. Sorry about the glare. I'll just pull it out so you can see it a bit clearer. The white fabric is just a tone on tone in this, so it's white on white. And then you've got the red polka dots, so you can't really see the dots there, but there is enough there to do all the finishing, and the finishing part is the outer edges here, so these bits here, okay, to give it that like bear claw look. So yeah, so that is all of the quilt blocks that I've got to cut up. There's quite a few there. Most of them have 2 in each one. And so I'm hoping that with my crafting with DDs in December, I'll have this all prepped, and then I can just pull out month 1, sew them together, maybe row 2, month 2, sorry, and try and get all of them done and actually have it done before Christmas. And I think if you just bear with me for a sec, I'll just grab my schedule and I'll be able to tell you exactly when we're starting. I have it all written down here, the craziness that is my life. Okay, so yeah, so I'm basically going to be doing this from the Thursday the 1st of December. So as you can see, I've got a fair bit there, but there I have bought myself a day in November because my hexi pouch I had scheduled down for 2 weeks. So rightfully so, I should have been doing that today. Instead, I'm doing this. So I thought I'll prep it now, so that this is the day that I'm going to use it. So it means that I'm not going to have that prep time that was going to take up in December. And I don't think I scheduled anything for December for scheduling. It was just going to be in my private time. So if I feel like I'm not going to be getting it done, what I might do is we might do a longer video. So we may end up spending a couple of hours together, but I will do that at the beginning of December because I know that we're all going to get busy and whatnot. So if you want to join along with me, the link is down below where you can get this booklet from. And as I said, it's got you everything that you need in it. It tells you all about it. Now let me just see what the fabric line is. Okay, so it is Christmas Among the Stars quilt, features Christmas morning fabric collection by Leela Boutiques, a boutique for motor fabrics. So if you wanted to get this fabric, if you do a search, and if I find it any of this fabric on the Fat Quarter Shop, I will link it all down below for you, and then that way you can join along and do it as well. All right, so I'm going to grab month 1 and we are going to start cutting. All right, so we've got block 1 and I'm just going to pull my fabrics out. Sorry about the rustling. So as you've seen before, this is block 1, so we're doing 2 of these, and I'll be cutting those, but I'll have the instructions off camera. That's pretty. I like that. That's pretty. You can see them there again. Super pretty. All right, so, okay, there's number 1. I'll just set that off to the side where I can see it. And I'm going to grab my best press, which doesn't have best press in it anymore. It's got another, I don't even remember what starch is in that. But anyway, it's in there. All right, so give that a really good spray. Grab my iron, bring that around. Actually, I might just change where I've got that plugged in because it is near my light, and knowing my luck, I will end up knocking my light over. All right, so what is everybody going to be working on today? while you wait for your pattern to come, or are you just decided that you're going to just grab out a quilt and work on something? Oh, there's a lot of fabric here. I love it. It's fabulous. Some of these are going to make pretty little blocks. So all I'm trying to achieve now is just get all the creases out, and then I will start to cut them. At the end of the day, I always, like, I've got another two, actually I've got another three one block of the months from, they're not consecutive, they're from different years, from Fat Quarter Shop, and I've started one of them, which is over on my Crafting with DD's trolley. I've started one of them. I think I've done 4 or 5 blocks of them, and so I've got to continue doing that. And I figured that Crafting with DD's is a really good opportunity for me to do that, because otherwise they just sit on the shelf and nothing gets done on them. So this is a really good way for me to get my projects done, because I mean, it's a lot of money just sitting there, and they're so pretty. I so want to do them. So yeah, I figured this would be a great way to sort them out. All right, where's my background fabric? Now I don't always starch, but when they've been folded up for quite some time, I will definitely starch. And when I'm working with white, I tend to iron, I try to iron on the back of it, not on the front, because in case my iron spits. Not that I have water, I never use water in my irons. I always use a spray bottle. And I think this one here, after I finish the best press, I put Fabulon into that, liquid Fabulon, just to get rid of creases and stuff. It's readily available for me down at the supermarket, and I always seem to run out of spray starch and stuff like that at the most inopportune times. So I always have a little bit of Fabulon here. It's not my favourite to use, but it gets me out of a bind if I need to get some. Okay. I'll just turn my iron up. It wasn't high enough. Put another going over. And I always just prep one block at a time, rather than have all the fabric out and going for it. I just find it a little bit easier to do that. Less mixing stuff up and whatnot. I should probably move my schedule out of the way. I was thinking, oh wow, I've got to make 4 blocks, but no, I only have to make 1 of each. They've just given me 2 colorways as well, the harvest version and the Christmas version. And when I bought this, I don't remember seeing the harvest version available, so maybe it was sold out when I got this. I'm not too sure, but I hope some of you do join me as we go along. As I said, I am not giving out any measurements or anything like that, because this is a block of the month through Fat Quarter Shop, and the link is down below for the book. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with that. Just get that out of the way, and get my irons out of the way. Put my book there. Bring my Alright, hang on a sec. Alright, got myself in a pickle here. I need to have, oh, there it is. I've got all these plugs everywhere, and one was hiding underneath the counter. Alright, so we are going to start with the background fabric. And because I am starting a new project, I am going to change my rotary blade. I have run out of rotary blades. I've only got 28mm left. Oh, that's a bummer. Alright, well, this is still sharp enough. I might actually just switch to a smaller rotary cutter. Oh no, there we go. I found them. Silly me, I had them over the back there. I must have got them out beforehand. Welcome to the world of Nicole. Losing all her stuff. Alright, there it is. I already put it out because I knew I had to change it. Alright, so let me just get into this. Always a bit tricky to get in. Alright, so this is the easiest one to change. I'll leave this down, a link down below. These are so easy to change. And it's really good because they come with these little covers and you can dispose of them. And no one's going to stick their hand in the bin by accident and hurt themselves. So, which is always a bonus. And then what I like to do is I just grab a scrap piece of fabric and I just wipe over them because sometimes they've got, like, from production, they've got a little bit of residue on them. So you can see there's that residue. So I just like to give them a bit of a wipe, and I just use a scrap piece of fabric because I know that that's going to get thrown out, and just get that residue off it. And that's just from the manufacturing. It's nothing wrong with the blade, it's just from the manufacturing process. Alright, so I'm just going to grab my rulers and start doing some cutting. And when I start cutting a quilt, I always use the same ruler right throughout. Well, I try to anyway. Sometimes I need to go down to a smaller ruler. Oh, look at that. Oh, I just love the sound of a new blade, don't you? Like, oh, it just sounds so good. All right. I was going to say, oh my god, I've made a mistake off the get-go. No, I haven't. It's all good. Okay, so that is all of the white. And you can see there that I've got a fair bit left. So that's, and basically I'll just fold that back up and pop that back into the one it came out of. So that way, if I want to do anything, like anything extra, maybe make a throw cushion or something like that, I can. All right, so what do we got going on here? And I just leave all my scraps up the top. Like anything really minuscule like that, I'll chuck into the scrap bin. But something like this, I'll be able to use in maybe a foundation paper piecing, or maybe some small hexagons or something along those lines. All right, so I'm just going to line this up and cut off my selvage. of that. Okay, so that's block 1 done, and I've cut all the bits and pieces that I need, and as you can see, they are, well, that it was all the fabrics that's left over, so I've got enough in there to cut, pretty much make 2 quilts, just about. Obviously, I'm not going to make 2 quilts the same, but I will definitely leave this fabric aside, and I've got it there to use maybe later on down the track to make another quilt. You know, so I'm pretty excited about that. All right, sorry about the rustling, but I'm going to get this all back into where it needs to go, and I'll put the spare fabric in here, and then on the front of my bag, I'm just going to fold this in half. It's just going to go in and turn it into a littler one. So what I'll do now is I will put these bits in here, and they will be ready to pull out, and then I'll just pop that into its basket, and then it's good to go. So I'll leave that there and grab out block 2. Somewhere is block 2. There we go. I'm not going to worry about, like, I'm just doing the blocks at the moment. When it comes time to doing the when we get to block 8, well, I'll cut all that then, because there's quite a lot of fabric there, so it probably won't fit all the way back in again. So basically I will just I will prep that just before I'm about to do it, because as I said, there is so much fabric there, and I wouldn't be able to get it back in. All right, so we move on to number 2. Just move that plastic out of the way, and then we'll start to prep this. I love this fabric. It's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, there's quite a bit there. Sometimes you have all the intentions in the world to do them as they come in and get them done and all that sort of stuff, but life gets in the way, work gets in the way, and then they end up sitting on your shelf, and they're just there, and they're taunting you and calling you and all the things. So yeah, I'm super happy to be doing this. I've made the commitment to it. Just going to get it done. Set that aside. And I know that I could use the background fabric from the first block, but I'd like to just leave it in there so I know how much fabric I've got left over from that particular one. And then I'll probably do a couple of throw cushions to go with this as well, so maybe get some of my favorite blocks out of the pattern and just make a couple of throw cushions to go on the bed with it. I'm a big fan of the throw cushion. Big fan. Just yeah, I don't know, maybe because I'm old, but you know, it's just something that I've always done. I've always had throw cushions, much to my husband's disgruntlement. He hates the throw cushion, but you know, oh well, you get that on some of these bigger jobs. So yeah. All right. I'm only going to iron half of this because I only used half in the first one, so yeah. Right. Okay, so I've ironed that first half. That'll do me. All right, let's move the iron out of the way again. Pop that up. It's good because it's a little booklet. I can just have it off to the side and no one can see it. So the blocks that we're making this time are the reef blocks. They look like little wreaths. Can't speak. Alright, so let's get the iron out of the way. Bag that. First fabric we're going to be cutting is the white one. Where's my ironed piece? That's the back. Always got to double check. And I'll just get rid of that selvage. Nice straight edge. Alright, that one is done. Alright, next, what is our, there we go. Alright, we need actually probably going to use a fair chunk out of this. And one more strip, which I'm going to have to iron, so I'm just going to duck off camera for a sec and give this a press. Probably should have read first. I'm terrible for that. I never read a pattern in its entirety before I start cutting. I just get in there and start cutting and hope for the best. It hasn't failed me yet, so I've been doing all right so far. All right, pop that out of the way. Okay, so what do we got here? Should be enough of that. Might have to cut another one, but we'll just cut this first. Alright, so let me just see what's going on here. There we are. Alright, I'm just going to pop this aside for just a second. I can cut that one. That's not plenty in there. Nothing like a new blade. It just makes it so much easier to cut your fabric and less painful on your joints. Whenever I'm cutting a big project like this, I definitely put in a new blade. I probably use my blades a little bit longer than I should. I should probably change them a bit more regular because I am always cutting and sewing and all the things, but yeah, I don't change them as often as I should, but as soon as I go to start a new project, I definitely change them. And you should change your blades as soon as you feel like you've got to put more pressure than normal on them, because then that way you know that, let me just have a look, okay. That way you know that you're not hurting your joints or anything like that. I make a hell of a mess too in the studio, because 9 times out of 10 I just turf it onto the ground, and then I've got to come out with the vacuum clean, the broom, all the things, and clean it all up. I know I've said it several times in this video, but just love how much you get out of your fabric. I've grand plans for getting a lot of these quilts done next year. I don't know whether I'll get them quilted, but I sure as heck I'm going to get the tops done. And then that way, because I can always come back to quilting them a little bit later on. You know, like I don't need to necessarily have them quilt and bound and all that sort of stuff. But when you've got all the backing and everything like that, it's good because you can just continue on from start to finish. So you never know. I can get the quilt top done. I might have some time just before Christmas to get it quilted and bound, and then I can use it. If not, it doesn't matter. And I noticed in my row by row, one of my blocks, I was so careful with my tone on tone fabric, and I'm terrible for it. Like and I think I even mentioned it a couple of times in the video. Make sure you've got your fabric on the right way. I still ended up putting a piece, and I didn't realize it's in the middle of the row, and I'm like, the block's already assembled, the row's already assembled. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother. So yeah, I have a piece in there that's around the wrong way, and it's hard to pick it out. Like, it took me a while to pick it out, so it's not too bad if it takes me that long to pick it out. So I'm not too disappointed, and it's just for my personal use anyway. So, and you're not going to notice in a you won't notice it, like even in a photo, you won't notice it. So. But I had to laugh at myself. I'm like, after all the things of me saying, make sure that you don't, and I'm still, yeah. Oh, dear me. All right, what do we got going on here? All right, so this needs to be straightened up a little bit. It's a little bit crooked, so I might just get my long ruler out because it's a little bit longer than that one. All right, let me take a little bit of this off. Excuse me. Rid of that. Grab the, just put that down there because no doubt I'm going to need that again. I'll pop it on the floor where it's easily accessible. And alright, so time is ticking on a bit, so basically what I will do is I will finish this one up, I think, and then I'll call it a day. I'll probably get some more done during the week, and then we'll revisit this again next week and get some more preparation done, and hopefully, what have I got here? Yeah, so as I was saying, we'll get some more preparation done, and then we'll be ready to start this in the first week of December. Alright. So the good thing, like when you cut a strip off and stuff like that, it's great because you, as I said, you can use these for, like I can make little coasters or something using like little tiny hexagons, and it makes it super easy then to just got to around here. It still leaves me with quite a bit. Maybe not enough to do another one of these blocks, but I can definitely incorporate it in. Alright, let's go with this one here. Right, go down this end. Because I'm thinking I'm going to try and find some of this fabric because I really like it. So I'm going to leave the selvage on it. As I said, I will get my larger ruler. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. Put this to the side and straighten this edge up. Straighten it up as much as I can anyway. Okay, that's enough to it. Alright. Let's lay these on. I also like to, when I'm prepping, when I first started out quilting, I would only cut one at a time. One piece of fabric at a time, one square at a time. But as I've got more experienced and as time's gone on, I've become more confident with my cutting skills. And as I said, like you can see with these, we've got fabric left over. So if I make a mistake, I'm not too stressed. And yeah, and I really like how this is set out too, because they have a picture of the fabric that you're supposed to be cutting, and it's got a divider in it, and tells you how much fabric you've got as well, or how much fabric you'll need. And then yeah, and then it gives you what, and in a nice formatted way, it gives you how many you have to cut of each one. So it's really good like that. I really appreciate the effort that they take with their patterns, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Okay, so with this one, I'm just going to cut a little bit bigger. I've got some straight edges, waist, so I'll turn that around, and on the edges that I just cut, I will line up my ruler. Now, I am not stressing too much about placement of anything, but that looks pretty centered to me, so I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, so pop all these together. And then we can pack this one away, and then we can call it a day. So while I'm doing that, don't forget to, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it, and then that way you're not going to miss out on any future posts. And if you're a returning viewer and you've yet to subscribe, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, and that way you're not going to miss out on any crafty uploads or anything like that. And I am going to cut my last two and bid everybody farewell. And alright, let me just alright. Oh, ruler's about to fall. Alright, so leave me an emoji down below, so I know you've made it this far. You can leave me a, let me see, what shall we leave today? I reckon you should leave me today a sewing spool. Pity there's not a sewing machine or a quilt block. That'd be pretty cool, having a quilt block. Straighten that up a bit, and then cut out 2 blocks out of it. This one was a little bit crooked, so That's why it took a little bit more effort to trim it all up. All right, but that is it. I have cut all those up. That is block 2 cut, and as you can see, we've still got some fabric left. Not as much as the first one, but still there's fabric left, and as I said, I can make a couple of throw cushions or something along those lines. But that is now 2 blocks done. I've only got several more to go, and then I'll be done. So I'm going to keep prepping that sort of stuff over the next couple of weeks. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I do appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me, and you maybe got some prepping done yourself, so that'd be exciting if you've got some progress done as well. But as I said, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate each and every one of you watching my videos and leaving beautiful comments down below, and even engaging with me via email, Instagram and Facebook. I really do appreciate it. While I'm talking about Facebook, don't forget we do have a Facebook group that you can join. So come along and join that, and join in the fun and get the discussion going over in the group, and show us what you're working on, because we all love to see what others are working on. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new here, and or if you're a returning viewer and have yet to subscribe, make sure you hit that, and check the little bell icon to all notifications, and then that way you're not going to miss out on any of my future uploads. But that is it for me today. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I will see you all again soon. Bye for now.